Should you summon on a fart of a weekend like this? Heck freaking no. Buckle up, Buttercup. Get prepared. A power creep storm is coming. I'm flippin' sure of it. Do not summon this weekend, guys. Honestly, please, please, please take my word for it. There's a couple very specific situations or kind of players that could summon. I'll cover that in like 1 second just to get it out of the way. But in general, the way the game's moving right now and the stuff we have available this weekend, it is such a hard skip. So I've done videos like this in the past where it's like, should you summon? By the way, this is this week's should you summon video. And I'm just like, no. And that's kind of the end of it, and it's a joke. But there is a lot of specific things we actually must discuss with like the current state of the game, particularly with Abyss 1 entering the fray this morning. Or I guess late last night, depending on where you live. But you can see this weekend we've got a 2x on Crazy Divine Summons and Crazy Invocation of Spirits. So these are your legendary gold summons, right? And these are your rare blue summoning crystals or the diamonds. You can see we have just on Sunday, they've done this a couple times, we have a rerun banner, which is like kind of good because it's got Hollow and Broke here. Xena's pretty solid, Mari's great, but it's not enough. And this is just going to be from Divine Summoning. So just from your legendary gold, yellow summoning crystals. We also have the 1+1 event coming tomorrow. So you get a legendary, it comes with a friend, and there you have it. All in all, it's not like it's a bad week. It's definitely like an easy week for many people to skip, but I'm here to tell you, I think almost everyone should be skipping. So who shouldn't be skipping? If you are hyper competitive in Guild Wars, in GVG, and you have a big budget, and I mean like very competitive, like a top 100, top 50 guild, and you want to be better and better and better, and you don't have A5 broke here, you can pull some divines on this. Why not? On the other side of that coin, if you're a brand spanking new player and you just need to fill out your roster, a 2x is a great way to do it, and a 1+1 is a great way to do it. If you're just starting out, if it's month 1 or 2 for you and you just need to fill out that Pokédex, absolutely, summon away. The 1+1 especially, I think, is a great option if you can guarantee you'll reach pity because you are locking in a 2x rate. Even if you go to full pity, you're hitting 2 legendaries and like whatever it is, 184 summons or something. Very, very good, right? Because you're just trying to fill out your roster. Finally, for new players or maybe even like mid-game players, if you don't have Hollow yet, throwing a couple divine summons, some legendary summoning crystals at this is not a bad idea. Everyone else, I think this is such a hard skip. So 1+1, I really just think has become very overrated. It's a huge gamble, and I really only see it as a major value if you need to fill out your roster, which for many people can be the case. But eventually you're going to have so many legendaries, it just goes on forever. Obviously, my account is kind of extreme. I've done a lot of summons, but I mean, you will reach a point where your gold goes on forever. I mean, on my free-to-play, which I only played for 45 days, 100% free-to-play, I had pulled something like 8 or 9 or 10 or 11 legendaries. Some people pulled 15 or more. So they come quickly in this game. You get a lot of summons. So going for the 1+1 where you easily and often will hit things you don't want, it just becomes not a top choice idea. If you have summons to spend, do it. But it's just not something I think in general people should be so excited about the way many of us were like a year plus ago when the amount of heroes in the summoning pool was a lot smaller and many people were newer to the game and just needed to like get a couple more healers or get a couple more mages or whatever it may be. Now at this point, I think unless you're a newer player, this is something you only do as like a luxury. Like you have extra summons and you've got an itchy finger, so you do it. 2x is just only for new players, in my opinion. It really, really is. And then this, like I said, new players, mid-game players that need Hollow, you can throw a couple golds at it. And then very end-game players, hyper-focus on GVG, that want A5 broke here, solid time to go take a shot, because this A5 is crazy. And that's really it. Xena's not a bad hero, by the way. She's just like she's very niche, and she's the kind of hero, the niche thing she's good at, other heroes can do as well. So if you get her, great, she'll solve a couple problems. Otherwise, don't target her. You'll find other ways to solve the problems. She doesn't do anything unique enough, even though there are a couple things she's like the best at. 2 things specifically. If you want to know what those 2 things are, the middle lane in Gear Raid 5, aka Gear Dungeon 2. And then if very specifically you are in need of a cycle unit because you're using some kind of Laurel strat in Guild Boss 1, the Drake's Chasm, and you're running Infernal, then she's like the best cycle option we have got. Aside from that, she's not special, and she's certainly not someone you should be targeting. So why am I saying it's bigger than just this weekend? Well, we had last night or early this morning, depending on where you live, the new biggest piece of content in the game drop. That is the new Guild Boss. It is now the hardest difficulty in Guild Boss 1, Drake's Chasm. We have Abyss 1. And if you haven't seen what's going on here yet, I did cover this like 2.5 weeks ago, and I'm sure a bunch of other people made videos and streamed it. Basically, the TLDR was this is incredibly hard, and it's just a very strict roster check, DPS check, damage mitigation check. And that's really all there is to it. And that has borne out in a pretty real way. I'm in a very good guild. You know, it's not super top guild, but like easily a top 100 guild in the game. You can see we've even placed an Overlord, and these are the best scores right now in my whole guild. Obviously, people can do better than this. I think these accounts, once they understand it better, will settle in somewhere in like the 10K to 15K range. But even if we go to the world rankings, here's Fabu, who is like by far the most dominant boss slayer of any single player in this game. Also a great friend of mine in the channel. But you can see he's done an amazing job putting up 39K. I promise you, he's put many, many hours into this, and he's not even breaking 40K. So he's not even 2/3 of the way to the top reward. He's got God tier gear. Let's see if he's showing something off. There you go. God tier gear, A5 on literally everyone that would matter. I guess he could use an A5 on his Soul Cadence, but you know, just crazy, crazy stuff. And he's brilliant at these strategies, and he's hitting a wall before 40K. Actually, only 4 players right now on the global server have broken 30K, which is halfway to the top chest. And then you can see not even that many people are getting over 20. You know, it's a handful, but it's not that much. And all these guys, I mean, left, right, and center, we're seeing A3 plus Kagiri, A3 plus Wukong, really like whale kind of accounts or really old accounts, well-developed accounts. All of these are going to have crazy gear, right? And it's not like anything could really change. There's not too much more strategy to be developed in this content. It's not like there's something people are missing. Many content creators like myself put many hours into this, and I promise you a lot of these players have put even more than that. And people are hitting pretty clear walls for the vast majority of players in like the low to mid 20s. And there's nothing else that could really happen besides something new entering the game. That's why this is relevant to a should you summon video. So very likely the solution to this is heroes we don't have in the game right now. For better or for worse, they've created a new problem, a power creepy problem, Abyss 1, and we're going to need some new spicy characters that are stronger than what we have now to beat it. I hope it's solved another way. Maybe we add new content, new items, new gear, new this, that, and the other. I'll probably have a whole video just on that, how I think we could solve this without tremendous hero-based power creep. However, we know in this genre, we know in gacha, it's very likely the solution to this, the way that Fabu and the gang are going to not, you know, peter out in the 30Ks, but actually break 60K and then do the crazy Fabu stuff and everybody else kind of thing where you just push it to the absolute max. You can see Nero here putting up 455,000 mech fragments in Apocalypse 2 when the top chest is only 120K. If we go to the normal Guild Boss 1, Nightmare 4, you know, the top chest is only 50K. People are very often getting towards 150K. So tripling it. You know, before that can happen in Abyss 1, it's not like someone's going to have some revelation or all of a sudden get one new piece of gear that's going to solve it. This is already beautiful min-maxed gear, right? This is already crazy. You got your quad stat here. You got your quad stat here. You got your, not a quad stat, but a nice HP roll here. I mean, this is like to the max gear, max out hex exclusive, A5 hex. You know, just for an example, let's check out Kagiri. Nice little rage regen, big crit damage roll, quad stat there, quad stat there. Just crazy, perfect stats here, very rare, and perfect quad here. And this is God tier gear, and again, max stat exclusive. You can't get better. It's not like there's a better artifact that Fabu's going to realize he needs for Kagiri. It's not like there's a better gear set he's going to realize than Soulbound Arcana with Wicked Vengeance with perfect stats. This is it, right? I mean, nearly 400% crit damage. Let me move myself out of the way. Over 25K attack. With a perfect artifact, right? There's nothing else to be found, to be discovered in the game. So the solution, yes, it could be new artifacts, it could be new gear, it could be new content, it could be new this, right? Very likely they're going to bring in new power creepy heroes that kind of like what happened with Wukong and Kagiri compared to our old solutions to APOC 2. I don't see A5 Lust on any of these teams. I don't see A5 Arrogance, right? Well, I wonder why. Because they're gone, right? They got power crept by limited heroes. Where's Dolores? I don't see Dolores. Oh, it's because Diao Chan's here now, right? That's just the way this is going. That's how it is. So very likely with Abyss 1 over the next month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, we're going to start getting new heroes that are the solution to this. We also know more content is coming, and it's very likely with that content, new heroes will be the solution. There's obviously a negative to this because it's like create the problem, sell the solution. However, if we're diligent, we can save for the solution instead of having to pay for it, right? I think we've proven that time and time again in this game, in the bigger Watcher Realms community, specifically here on the channel. If you're ready, you can get everything done. The other thing is, this is naturally how these games have to work. These are daily live service games. They are grindy. They are gacha. You need to keep having new heroes coming. That is the lifeblood of these games, for better or for worse. And when those new heroes come, they need to be trending upwards in some direction. Obviously, you don't want it going like this with these huge power creep moments, and I hope that doesn't happen, but it needs to be like this. If Arrogance was still the best fighter in the game for all content, then no one would really need to care about anything new. So you need a Twyla to come into the fray, and then you need Kagiri right before that. And then afterwards did we need Wukong? I don't know. For me, Wukong was like that big jump. I felt like it was too dramatic. But I think it's supremely likely we need to start being a lot more thoughtful with our summons and can't just say, oh, well, you know, I got some summons, I got some diamonds, might as well do the 1+1. No shot in heck I'm doing that, right? What if the next limited or the limited after that is like the Kagiri Sung Wukong power creep unit that you really need for Abyss 1 and you really need his A3 or you really need his A1? You're going to want to be prepared. Obviously, I'm going to more endgame dramatic extremes, but I hope you see the point I'm trying to make. The game is like going to be in a content shift right now. We've seen it. All they really did is just crank everything up to 11 with Abyss 1. There's no real new mechanics. This whole cycling thing between physical damage and magic damage, there's no unit right now that can do that. Right? It's not like you can toggle back and forth between Falsia. So until they add a unit like this, all that the shifting in required damage does, as it makes you need either magic in one moment or physical in another, is essentially like sideline a chunk of your team for that other period and require that the team that is able to attack is extra super duper crazy strong. So what's going to be the solution to this? They add some kind of hero where you can like switch states and they change magic and physical damage, right? Like the way Diao Chan switches forms, they're going to change from magic to physical, or the way that Ingrid is switching from AoE to single, but she's always doing true damage and magic damage. Imagine if someone was switching from physical damage to magic damage. That would be the kind of hero they could be pushing towards us. Or it's just going to be someone that goes bing, bing, bop, bop, boop, right? Way harder than Sun Wukong. And that's kind of what it is. There's nothing else really here. So I think you just have to hold out and be really cognizant of that and be hyper aware of what likely is to come. In my opinion, that is what is likely to come. So in conclusion, should you summon on a fart of a weekend like this? Heck freaking no. Buckle up, Buttercup. Get prepared. A power creep storm is coming. I'm flippin' sure of it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I've been Fastidious. If you like my stuff, please like it. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments. For this video, I'm going to read all of them. I'll make it a point. Share with your mother, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.
Fastidious.